Yo, it's your boy M coming today with you with one movie review. Kind of have a busy day today. Going to the baseball game to see the Padres go up against Tampa Bay, and my expectations are low for it, but nonetheless, good food. They got a really good blue raspberry lemonade. Superb. Chef's kiss on that for sure. Supper for blue lemonade. But nonetheless, I'd rather talk about that than what I'm going to review because this movie was dumb. It was called The Mousetrap, and it pretty much ever since Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse's original character design went public domain. There's been an onslaught of horror movies using his design and just straight up property, everything. And this movie starts off right off the bat poking fun at Star Wars and has this whole legal bullshit going on. How like they love Disney and they don't want Disney to go after them and all this other bullshit. And at some point, it even starts poking fun at Lucas Arts, Lucas Films, and how they don't want them coming after them because they're using the literally like intro scroll that they do for every Star Wars movie at the beginning of their movie. And yeah, it's pretty much it revolves around two chicks who work at this like fun for all kind of like establishment where they got a lot of, arcades, freaking rides and stuff like that. It's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese, but like I guess cooler because they got like indoor roller coasters and freaking arcades and shit like that. And pretty much they get left to cater a private party. Their scumbag manager puts them in charge of it, and at some point, the scumbag manager goes back home and he's watching Steamboat Willie. Like they just straight up show footage from Steamboat Willie and how Mickey Mouse used to be a bit of a prick. And these cartoons where he's like they show the scene where like, Mickey Mouse is pulling on a cat's tail and all that fun stuff that was old school Disney before they went woke and cater to the modern audience. And this manager has a mask of Mickey Mouse in a trophy case, and it just out of nowhere, the room turns red, and he hears his voice, which I'm assuming is supposed to be Mickey Mouse talking to him. And next thing you know, the mask is gone and the manager is gone. And then we cut back to the two chicks working at Fun for All for this private party that they assume is a bunch of 8-year olds. At some point, one of these chicks convinces the other one to kind of let her go for like an hour or two so she can meet up with some dude who she's trying to get spicy with, and convinces her coworker. And freaking coworker is just chilling by herself, and the next thing you know, all her friends show up, and they end up throwing a surprise party for her, even though her birthday is like 2 weeks from now. And one thing I forgot to mention: the entire time this movie is playing out is being narrated by a cute goth chick that gives off like Jenna Ortega Wednesday Adam vibes the entire time. She's being interrogated by like the good cop, bad cop while she's behind bars after all this stuff has had happened and her friends freaking got killed and only three survived, but none of them are talking because they're gonna sound batshit crazy because of what's about to happen as she's telling this story and everything. And so nonetheless, going back to the party and everything, um they're having a good time, they're drinking. At some point, they're all like, we should probably put our phones away, put them in a plastic bag so that way we can actually and genuinely enjoy this establishment for what it was, like how they used to back when they were kids, and not have any distractions of modern day inconveniences. So they put all their phones in a freaking plastic bag and they throw it on the bar, and then pretty much two of these people, a couple, wander off to go do the hanky panky in the jungle gym. The tunnels, pretty much. Freaking the infamous tunnels where you're the kid and you see your parent and you're kind of just like ba 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 through the plastic window. And you're freaking acting like a fool, and your mom or dad just looks at you kind of just like, yeah, that's my boy. That's yep. But nonetheless, so they're doing a hanky panky, and then that's when Mickey Mouse makes his appearance, being a creep, watching them from the corner of the jungle gym, and they're about to get it on, but they don't because they see Mickey Mouse, and then next thing you know, you hear them scream as Mickey Mouse walks towards them, and then it comes back to the other people having a good old time, and then that's when they start to realize that things aren't really going so well because they were trying to leave to go to a bar that was next door, and when they get to the door, it's chain locked. And they're like, this is how we don't usually typically lock up the establishment. Like, we got a key for the doors. Like, why is there a freaking chain and a lock locking us in instead of, bullshit? But and that's when people start getting, taken off one by one. And there's like a subplot romance story that never takes off because I'm just going to ruin it for you. The romance in the romance interest, the chick who has a crush on this dude has a crush on her, ends up getting her head cut off by Mickey Mouse at the end of the movie. And pretty much kind of just sum it up, it ends with the cute Wednesday Adam looking chick being left in prison, in jail or custody. The two cops kind of just don't believe her and kind of just fuck off, and the movie just fucking ends. Um, Overall, the concept of Mickey Mouse was kind of dumb just because they gave Mickey Mouse teleporting powers, and his weakness was strobe lights. And yeah, I know it was really just cheesy, and not even a good cheesy. It was just dumb. But cute girls. All the chicks were, all the the women in this movie were beautiful. The men in this movie were kind of very tropey, to say the least. I mean, you have the typical drunk jock who's trying to get at one of the girls, the chick who gets her head cut off. You have the typical fucking nerd who is not a risk taker and rather use intelligence to solve everything. And he had a crush on the chick who gets her head cut off. So there's a bit of like a weird rivalry between the jock and the nerd. And the freaking dude who was going around wearing the Mickey Mouse mask was the manager, and he pretty much was possessed by it. I guess the spirit, the demon, weird astral entity that is Mickey Mouse, and yeah, they didn't really do a good job. I know there's other horror movies where they use Mickey Mouse as a concept, and I haven't seen those yet. Um, I don't know if I want to. I have an idea what I'm getting myself into when it comes to watching these movies, where they're just all for like, oh, look what we're doing to this. We're now an iconic classic character, and look at the shit show that we're making out of it. And yeah, that's my review. Do I recommend this movie? I guess if you want to watch something dumb. Um, I definitely give this movie a 2 out of 10, and that's just because the women in this movie were pretty cute, especially the Wednesday Adams goth chick. She was really cute. But yeah, till then, I will catch you in the next video. Hopefully soon. Hopefully. So yeah, peace.